So I guess the Watchers are kind of defined really from a spiritual perspective to be that kind of celestial beings. I think they're described in the Book of Enoch, somewhere along the lines of, and again in sort of mysterious ancient text that kind of has been omitted, I think, from some versions of the Bible. So these beings were originally sent to watch over humanity. That seems to be the general gist of the research that I've done, really. And they're considered to be guardians or guides, maybe interdimensional kind of observers of planet Earth. But the different research kind of points us to the fact they kind of broke some divine laws set somewhere, descended to Earth. Basically, rather than watching what was happening here, they kind of engaged with human beings, and obviously primarily with women, and then of course created an offspring of themselves. And that offspring, I think, is kind of termed the Nephilim, basically. So these were kind of giant hybrids of the Watchers that we talk about, that kind of connected with us as human beings, kind of crossed those two species, if you like. And then we had these kind of giant hybrids that were kind of feared warriors, and they had a lot of symbolic and forbidden knowledge and kind of unchecked power. And the kind of understanding is they kind of run amok, really, on the planet for quite a long time, which kind of takes us into the kind of deeper dive on the Watchers and that sort of subject of the Nephilim. And I was interested in this topic myself, actually, quite a while ago. So myself and Ollie went off to London to a conference about the Anunnaki, oddly. And there were a lot of people talking about that subject that were going to be flying in from all over the world. So it was based in London. It was supposed to be kind of a really interesting conference. And I actually knew one of the guys that was talking there. So there was a guy called Dr. Alan Cox that I've kind of worked with before. He was going to be having a conversation. So I kind of messaged him and said, it'd be good to meet up at this conference, have a coffee, have a chat. We're interested in the Anunnaki and that aspect of things because, of course, it comes into the work that we do. Because obviously when we're clearing negative entities and energies, this kind of brings us into that same field, really. And it was quite interesting because most of the people that were presenting at that conference struggled to get there with different transport problems. Alan himself never managed to make it. He was ill before the conference, so he never turned up. And quite a lot of the people that kind of planned to go struggled to get there for the weekend. So it kind of showed me really sort of firsthand that there is this kind of behind the scenes energy, I guess, or energy entities that are basically watching what we're doing, what we're talking about, and kind of pushing conversations away as much as they can. So this is going to be an interesting podcast to see if this podcast goes down inadvertently, or we have sound problems, or we have tech problems, because of course